Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a Patreon cast between Artosis and InControl here on Heartbreak Ridge. This is from a 2009 professional tournament, which means it's over 10 years old. But hey, old StarCraft is still good. Alright, left side we have the Blue Terran player Artosis. You may have heard of him. And on the right side we have a Teal Zerg player. It is InControl, who sadly passed away last year. Wait. Was it 2020 or 2019? Anyway, passed away recently, and I don't know. I just kind of feel like we need to remember him by casting some games and seeing how good of a player he was. So, let's go ahead and check this out. Terry the Overlord. What? What'd you do versus Jay? I had him, says Artosis. Then I microed bad. Oh, rough stuff, Artosis. I don't know who Jay is. It must be another fellow professional player in a tournament. I must have lost the game to end up here against InControl. He did like Reaver 2-gate? Nah, he expoed. I had twice his force. I didn't micro at all. Oh, brutal. That is a rough way to lose, so he rolled me. Tears, says InControl. These guys were like the best of friends, too. There's an amazing video of InControl describing Artosis in some profane and offensive terms. If you're interested in finding that, I can probably put a link to it in the description here. But I mean, the reason it's so funny is because InControl and Artosis just got along so well. Look at these guys; they're friends. They're giving each other tips while they're playing in a professional tournament. Like, who does this? Who has this conversation? I don't know. 12 hatch. Hatch first. Here out of InControl. InControl in games that we've seen of his, he does, at least in this stage, back in 2009, 2010, he liked going for just mass Hydra Lurker style against Terran. And it's kind of weird, but by golly, he's made it work in the past. So, I mean, it's not something you do in professional situations if it just loses every time, obviously, or loses the majority of the time. So we'll see. Obviously, Artosis is going to be familiar with that possibility because they played against each other a lot. I mean, practicing against each other, playing in tournament against each other all over the place for years and years. Drone scouting, actually. Wait, is he going to open this back door? Oh, I love this. I love this. When players on Heartbreak Rage open that back door. What are you going to do? And Artosis does not have the vision to see this either. All right, it takes some time. It says 0 minerals, but that's a lie. It takes a long time to open this thing. But it can be worth it, especially if you're Zerg and Ling's getting around this back way and then coming down this ramp, and haha, your wall is meaningless, then you die. So we will see. Usually players like to get some vision up here, send an SCV here, build a supply depot here to have the vision on if this is getting worked on and if it's going to go down. So we'll see what happens. Again, this is a Patreon cast. Those of you who support me on patreon.com/FalconPaladin for as little as $1 a month. $1 a month, that's all it is. Does give us access to this replay the week of February the 15th. If you're seeing this later, I don't know, like in March, well, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I post Brood War stuff 5 times a week out here. All right. I need some kind of a Patreon goal. Do I have one? I might have one out there. You need to check it out. Patreon.com/FalconPaladin. I believe it is probably another tournament I'll set up with cash prizes like I had last time. I had a $200 cash prize pool for the last one that we did. That was a ton of fun. Hope you guys all enjoyed the casting there and the playing and stuff. Anyway, SCV says, yeah, this was a hatch first play with a macro hatch at the front, so nothing too nutsorama here. On the other side, Artosis is going, they're 1-1-1-ing here. Barracks factory into Starport. The back door is open, and there is no vision from Artosis about this. So the Lings are like, we want to, yes, let's make 6 more Lings. Let's get speed going, and let's see what we can do. The thing is, Artosis going 1-1-1 means he's actually going to have units to help defend against any kind of attack like this. If this was a 1-Rax expand style play, the command center would slow down his ability to have defending units. So the fact there's a Vulture out is extremely nice. Really, really nice. Did he just... Oh, he walls it off. I don't think he got vision. Did he get vision of this? He might have actually checked it just now. And now he's walling off with the supply depot, getting a Marine back here. He's got a Vulture, and that should be enough to shut this down. I wonder if that was a mind game. I wonder if he was like, hey, InControl, I'm not watching my back door. I hope no one takes these minerals. Oh, no. But then obviously he checked it later, saw what was going on, walled off successfully. This SCV is dead. Like, I'm not sure there's any saving this guy. He did the work. He did the work he needed to do, and now he's toast. Maybe he's toast. No, he's definitely toast. Speed's done for these Lings. Oh, they let him go. Like, all right, well, shoot. You know what that means. Mash the front door. Mash the back door. I think you could, honestly, you could probably take the supply depot down. 2 vultures is rough. This one, though, this one's getting knocked down to sub 100 HP. Ooh, we got Spider Mines fast. Okay, I love this. This is super good. Spider Mine hit! And the supply depot. Tap it, and it's down. Taps it down. Spider Mine does not do any friendly fire. Oh, gosh. Drag him in. He does. He drags him into the... Oh, tried dragging him into the vultures, but none of them connected. That was a good micro attempt by InControl, but Spider Mine physics and where they try to go is iffy sometimes. It's kind of like Dragoon pathing, where you're like, I'm not sure what we're doing here, but pathing is a thing. So going for a vulture drop, which, I mean, there's not a wall anyway, so... I mean, I guess you bypass the sunken at the front, so sure. Let's call it good. Let's call it a good vulture drop. This SCV is going to die as revenge for all of the Zerglings that died during that attack and didn't really accomplish much. They killed 2 supply depots, which is fine. Here we go, vultures, and I mean, this is basically him recognizing... Yeah, this is Artosis recognizing that InControl is going to skip making actual units because he needs to drone up after that early aggressive Ling attack and is going to pay for it here. So, goopajoop. These Lings are doing poorly, and there's no mining going on at the main base of InControl at all. That hurts. That's gotta hurt. Drones are trying to fight here, but okay, is this just Artosis getting the win with his one attack? It's down to 15 drones right now. There's 11 kills on this vulture and 7 kills on this vulture and 4 kills on the other vulture, and there's no mining happening for InControl at all. Is that just GG? We're 7 minutes into this thing. Artosis has a second base. Artosis has 25 SCVs. InControl has got Mutalisks out, so he's going to clean this up. But that is so many dead drones and so much lost mining time. It hurts. It hurts my soul as a Zerg main. All right, well, fare thee well. Vultures, you did well. Dropship gets picked off by Scourge, and now these Mutalisks need to do a ton of damage. But the response here today is going to be Goliaths. Interesting. We've seen this. We've seen this work, and we've seen this fail. The problem with Goliaths is they do half damage to Mutas, but especially with Charon boosters, they outrange them like crazy, and they still hit pretty hard, even with half damage, right? 10 damage per shot is still pretty nuts against Mutas who don't have a ton of HP anyway. Missile turrets coming up are going to help immensely here, too. That turret needs to finish. And Charon boosters is almost done, too. Another turret coming up. Can't just playing it safe. Here's Artosis droning up back home. There's that Charon boost. That's what I'm talking about. So that one Muta is down to 12 HP after taking that huge volley of Charon boosted Goliath attacks. But, I mean, it's 28 to 16 workers. InControl is trying to rebuild. He really is trying to rebuild that economy. He's even... Man, he's spending drones to make a Hydralisk Den and an Evolution Chamber. He recognizes Mutas aren't going to be the answer necessarily here. Hydras, though, Hydras trade pretty darn well against these Goliaths. Zerglings do, too. Zerglings getting a surround on much of anything is going to be pretty awesome, and surrounding Goliaths is no exception. It's just the trick is getting close enough, right? If you're dealing with a ton of Goliaths, they can kind of mow you down in the open field. Marines can do that, too. Tanks can definitely do that. So, we'll see. We'll see where we end up going with this, but it's 52 to 31 supply, and I think... I mean... I don't really like calling GG this early, but that much damage done after InControl's... It was a gamble, right? His Zergling attack gamble killed 2 supply depots and an SCV was just not enough. The economy here is... It's just dreadful. 22 drones to 32 SCVs. 2 base to 2 base. InControl hasn't even tried to take a third yet. He's like, I don't have the economy to take a third base, especially I can't defend it against this kind of an army. Without question. So let's see if we just continue pumping. Yeah, there we go. Some vultures to deal with any Ling attacks that decide to come in. Is that a second armory? No. An academy. And armory getting dem upgrades for those Goliaths. Working on +1 attack. So going to be Hydra Muta here. Out of InControl. It's getting speed for Hydras. These Mutas are trying to find stuff to do. Maybe they'll get lucky and intercept a dropship, or maybe they'll get lucky and intercept some vultures, I guess. It's not bad. I'm not going to say that's a terrible thing to intercept some vultures. But Sunken's at the front, as many as InControl can spare here. But this is feeling like Artosis is just... when you're ahead, get more ahead. I mean, that's something... I don't know if Artosis taught Day 9 that, but that's something Day 9 taught me during a Day 9 daily years and years ago. If you're ahead, get more ahead. If you win an engagement soundly, either just go kill him, or just get more ahead, right? Just get more economy. Expand twice. Get your army up to quadruple the size. If you ruin the economy of your opponent, you can try to put the, put the hammer down early, or you can murder them later by having an economy that's significantly better and a bigger army as a result. These are options. These are the options here today. Did end up sacking a couple vultures for effectively nothing there. I don't know what they did there necessarily, but the 3 Sunkens mowed them down with the Hydra support pretty darn quickly. So, this also could be a case of kind of letting your opponent back into the game. You can do that too. You may think you're getting more ahead, but if they're cutting a ton of corners, it can be really hard for you to deal with that later, right? Like sometimes you wreck your opponent's economy and then they just spend all their time on economy for a while and are super vulnerable, and you don't follow up on that because you're just trying to get more ahead. And you do get ahead for sure, but now the Zerg player is in a much better position, right? He's much happier here at 27 workers and 3 bases than he was at, 19 workers and 2 bases, but we are just going right into mech, aren't we? Siege tanks with +1 attack to help deal with these Hydralisks. Again, in great enough numbers, you can pull that off. It's not necessarily a guarantee. Hydras can trade really well against tanks if they are in equal-ish numbers, but I'm sure you pretty much already knew that. Anyway, Slover Lord, are we getting Overlord speed? No, we're not doing that. Also, I hope you're enjoying the 1440p. It's definitely something I'm enjoying. Just gives me a little bit more clarity on the graphics. I think that's something y'all can notice too. If you're watching on a 1440p screen, whether it's a TV or a monitor or a phone, even some phones have greater resolutions than that. All right, so we're just basically going to try to go Hydra Lurker Muta against this mech stuff. And I don't know. This is Artosis style, though. Artosis is all about Turtle Terran. He's all about getting up a giant army of mech that is so hard to deal with. If you happen to be kind of a Zerg player who likes overwhelming your opponent, you can't do it against a meching Terran. It's just not a possibility. So Artosis, you can get a lot of wins doing that. But the problem then starts to come around when you meet up against someone who doesn't immediately die to your superior tank count and Hydralisks, and then you're in trouble. A couple vultures get sniped out. The barracks is on fire. I mean, losing the barracks kind of sucks because Spider Mine hits, because then you have to make another barracks if you want to make more factories. Jeez. Bring detection? No, I'm only just picking off the Spider Mines as they're popping up out of the ground here. But yeah, 35 workers to 55. I mean, Artosis, this is basically the game that he was talking about in the early stages of this match. It's like, I had a giant army compared to my opponents, then I didn't micro and I lost. So, I mean, is this a deja vu type scenario? I don't know, man. These lurker eggs are dead. But they do kind of... Oh, they block off this army's ability to get up here. But guess what? We split the army, and they're dead anyway. So, bit of a cheeky move out of InControl, but not quite able to pull it off in the end. So, yeah, I'm putting my money on Artosis in this match. I'm telling you right now. I mean, it's +1 attack for the Hydras, which is nice, but it is... Is this still +1? I'm going to have +2 by now, Artosis. All right, well, upgrades aren't exactly what we'd want them to be. But that's okay. It's still, man, it's a 3-basing Zerg versus a just now starting his 3rd base Artosis. Muta's flying around, took down an engineering bay that was hiding up here just for vision purposes. Trying to make the vision for Artosis smaller here is the goal. Yeah, do we know that Zergs like to put lurkers on high ground? We sure do! We're just going to blindly scan up here because we know how much Zerg like that. Yeah, these Nope. Nope. Hydra's out. Hydra's out. I mean, this is like, your mutas need to go try to kill stuff on the other side because, I don't know. I don't know if your anti-air is going to be enough to deal with. This is like, what, 20 Goliaths? It's 20 plus 1 Goliaths, man. It's 149 to 92 total supply. Artosis is spending his money pretty effectively. Everybody's under 1,000 minerals at least. Yeah, alright. We're just diving. I guess we're just diving in here. So, a lot of Charon boost on these Mutalisks, man. I don't know. Hydra's coming from the top side, though. Stutter stepping forward with his Hydralisks. Oh my gosh, did InControl win this battle? I'm not sure that he did. I think he's going to lose all of his Mutalisks. And, yep, all of his... There we go. All of his Hydras as well. There is still enough left here for Artosis to be terrifying. Probably enough to jump up to that third base and cause some problems. Also, a giant reinforcing army following up very, very shortly. And, yep, InControl went for it, but too many Goliaths, man. He was just way too low in supply. 2 down in economy here at 16 minutes. He got his third base rolling, but did not exist for long enough to do this thing. I mean, he's making more Mutalisks, but this is just, it's another giant group. They don't have the armor yet, but I'm not even sure how much it matters. Pro tip, it does not matter. Third base toast, and that's your GG. I mean, technically no, because our InControl is not GG'd yet. He's going to try to see what he can get done with these Mutalisks. But, again, I just think this game was foreordained when InControl's gamble at sending all those lings up through that back door did absolutely nothing, and then Artosis' counterattack of Vultures completely crippled InControl's economy for the rest of the game. So this is nice. Like, sure, you're going to get a ton of SCVs. Artosis, guys, you can't just come to work today. This area is on lockdown. Oh my gosh. Okay. Today is SCV Massacre Day. Holy crap. Oh, did he kill every one? He killed every single one on that transfer. There's only 43 SCVs remaining, but then the Goliaths come home to deal with the Mutas, and the Siege Tanks and some Goliaths are setting up here, which is just, that is how you know you're having a bad day as a Zerg, when there are tanks back here on this high ground. Kind of reminds me of certain versions of Lost Temple where you can do this to your opponent's natural, is set up tanks on the high ground over the mineral line, and just there's not much the Zerg can do about it. If they have Mutas, sure, but then suddenly it's 1-1 Goliaths over here, and I mean, InControl is sticking around with these +1 Mutalisks, but no. I've been saying no for some time now. And this counterattack will avail you nothing, InControl. I appreciate your chutzpah. I appreciate you want to win this game, but there's just not a path forward here at all. The Goliath and ground damage is actually pretty amazing. Hiders don't do super well here at all. And that's your ball game. That's GG. Good effing game, says InControl. Artosis GG's out. He's got to feel good about that one after losing what seems to be the previous match he played, right? I think that's probably what happened there. So, you know, getting a win after losing a game you feel like you shouldn't have lost is always a great feeling. Ah, so good. So, yeah, I don't know what to say about this game that I didn't cover throughout the entire thing. Came down to the gamble that failed. Artosis' counterattack was brutal. And I don't know if there's a Zerg player on Earth who could come back from losing that many workers, having every ounce of income they have shut down for extended period of time while the Terran is on 2 base. Like maybe Jaedong. If we just kind of put Jaedong in InControl's shoes after that happened, after Artosis' Vultures had been cleaned up, maybe Jaedong could have gotten out of that, but I don't know. I really don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Jaedong could have gotten out of that situation, or is it just far, far too much? Far too much to deal with. That's where I am with this. All right. So after 18 minutes, 129,000 points for Artosis, only 72,000 total for InControl from Evil Genius the Clan. Produce the same number of units, but when you kill 155 Zerg units and lose 88, that right there, that is your story. Buildings, yeah, raised a bunch of Zerg stuff, yes, and then resources. If you are out mineral mined and outspent by a Terran player by this much, you're just throwing the towel at that point. Move along, take the loss, hit it up another day. Gaba. All right, cool stuff. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.